Welcome back to another episode of Tesh of All Trades. So on the last episode I went through a 4-day fast. Now this video is being made months after that. A lot of changes happened in my life, but I did say I would make an explanation of why I did that. A video explaining why I went ahead and did a 4-day fast, and this is that video. So right off the bat, I'm going to give you a little bit of a disclaimer. If you have type 1 diabetes, or if you are still developing, if you're a young guy or gal, if you are, it's hard to judge this stuff off of your particular genes, but let's just say, and health professionals will also say, don't do this if you're 18 and under, all right? This is going to be advice for anybody that is 18 or over. And do not listen to any of this if you have type 1 diabetes. So a lot of studies have been done on fasting. If you go to PubMed, you can find plenty of peer-reviewed research on fasting, all right? Now, a lot of debate usually comes within the bracket, if you will, of weight loss. And in that regard, yes, if you eat less calories, you're going to lose weight, whether you fast or not. But a lot of these studies have been done on rats. And so a lot of concern comes from not being 100% sure if those studies done on rats can be extrapolated on humans, even though lots of studies have been done on rats and have been accurately extrapolated on humans with various other topics. However, I kind of get that, right? Like, oh yeah, we haven't done a lot of studies on humans, so how can you say for sure? However, I'm not really going to get into the weeds on that one. Now, the reason I won't get too technical is because by now it's sort of obvious. I don't believe I really have to go and make a 2-hour-long video going from article to article, really getting into the weeds on this. If you simply look up a Huberman episode podcast on fasting, or if you go look up fasting on YouTube and see other people's accounts and how it's helped them reverse type 2 diabetes and lose weight and increase mental clarity and a numerous host of benefits, I don't really feel like I have to post a bunch of highlighted, word for word proof and articles on that right now. It's just, by now, like, come on. Fasting has been a part of self-help, and it's been a hot topic for years now. And by now there's just enough accumulation of so many people benefiting from this that I don't feel like I have to get that crazy with that. And anyhow, I do want this to be more of a personal account and more of what I consider the most important reasons for anybody to fast. So I'm going to boil this down into 3 of my primary reasons for why I personally fast. There are dozens of reasons why people fast with, again, many benefits, but this is why I personally do it. My strongest reasons for doing it, and why you should consider also doing a prolonged fast, or at the very least, starting this habit into your life. So reason number 1 is going to be focus and mental clarity. This usually for me applies on a day-to-day basis, but when I don't eat a breakfast, I feel a lot of mental focus, a lot of clarity, and if I really had to use one word to boil it all down to a feeling, I just feel very sharp, okay? The first quarter of my day, before I eat a brunch around 1 o'clock, usually like 12, 1, 2 o'clock, it's very clear for me. There's no brain fog. or anything like that. And I've felt this benefit for years. I started doing intermittent fasting when I was in college, and ever since then, I have my mornings and early afternoons have been nothing but clarity and a sharp mind. Now, most people don't know too much about nutrition, okay? The old adage still goes around that you should start your day off with a large breakfast, okay? Two things. A large breakfast being what? Carbs, processed wheat covered in sugar, drenched and swimming around in highly processed milk water. I don't think that's going to be the best if you ask me. The other thing is big breakfast, right? A lot of people want to start off with a big breakfast. So when you eat a lot, this isn't just breakfast time, okay? This is any meal. But when you eat a lot of blood gets redirected to your gut to help digest, okay? So that is blood moving away from your brain and other parts of your body to help your gut digest. That is also another reason why your brain isn't going to be as sharp if you eat a big breakfast. With people not even really knowing about carbs and sugar and all this stuff, they vaguely know that all this processed junk is bad for you. And so those are the two primary, I feel, reasons in which a breakfast should just be skipped out altogether. Play with this, and if you truly feel that you gain more of a benefit from eating a small, healthy breakfast with a reduced amount of carbs, then you can certainly do that. I've played with both, and personally, I just feel a lot better skipping a breakfast. So reason number one is fasting, intermittent fasting in this case, without a breakfast is going to lend you a lot of mental clarity and focus, which is important for pretty much everything you do. All right, reason number two is going to be that having a multi-day fast is a mental struggle. I'm a firm believer that taking on hard things makes regular modern life easier, all right? When you have the capability of not impulsively eating, when you have the capability, when most people around you go eat 3 meals a day and go out and go eat junk, shitty foods, when you have the ability to resist that, even if you're not a foodie, right? You typically even socially go and eat with people. When you negate that, when you can take on a battle with your own mind into conditioned thinking of needing to eat at certain times with certain people at certain places and certain things and all of that, it really lends to more mental strength, okay? You know, it's bad enough when you go to these restaurants and when you go to any place that has food that's very hard to resist, all right? And it is hard to resist. Like, I don't care what anybody says, resisting food is hard, all right? You know, you go to any supermarket or you go to any fast food restaurant, that food is typically infused with sugar and all sorts of flavors and seed oils that are going to make that food taste delicious. Eating is obviously tied with survival. You need to eat to live. Negating that is not an easy mental endeavor, and that's the point. That's the point. You are battling not only yourself, but conditioning from everybody else to not eat. It's hard enough that when you do this kind of thing, you may be hungry. You have to fight that. You will start feeling cravings. You have to fight that. People will tell you you're crazy, and this has happened to me. This has literally happened to me. Coworkers, family, some friends, why are you doing that, man? Why are you doing that? You need to take all that shit and fucking throw it in a trash can, okay? Just, they won't get it. They won't get it. If they're not about bettering oneself, they will not understand. And so to those people, you just say, I'm not listening to you, fuck you anywho. But the point goes back to being that doing this definitely lends some mental fortitude. It makes you stronger in the head, and that is just immeasurably a positive thing for your life. It is such a boon. Okay, when you, a little bit of my ego talking, when you know people are over here just day in the life, right? You're listening to people talk, coworkers, friends, family, and they're talking about how they're being a little dramatic, but it's just like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. I just have to go eat this. And I just have to do this. Oh my God, if I don't eat breakfast, I'm gonna, and it's just so full of shit. They don't even understand a human being's capability and the survival mechanisms and all the benefits that come from and why we were designed by nature to be able to just not fucking eat. And when you know you can do that and other people just can't keep putting things in their mouth, you feel a little good. You feel a little strong. That's something that you can do that others can't. You know what I mean? That's just a little boon that makes normal little shenanigans of daily life a little easier. All right? Mental strength. Okay, so reason number 3 is going to be gut health. So your gut is commonly referred as your second brain. Okay? When you constantly eat and you do not give your gut a break, it is going to lead to inflammation. All right? Inflammation in your gut again being your second brain, is going to lead to some focus issues for your actual brain. The symptom of this commonly can be described as brain fog, okay? The inability to think clearly. This is obviously a problem, but I kind of want to circle back around to inflammation in general. Inflammation is a term that gets thrown around so commonly that I don't think there's enough focus on the term itself, because it is a gigantic blanket word. Inflammation is always a cause of a bigger root issue. And inflammation is pretty much the cause of most health issues in our modern world right now. Inflammation is leading to all sorts of cardiovascular issues and so on and so forth, digestive issues, blah, 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 blah. Given we're talking about fasting and thus food, is it really so hard to surmise why all of this inflammation might be happening, right? Maybe it's because there's sugar in everything. Maybe it's because of the rancid oils that are in almost every restaurant, and especially fast food restaurants that we go to, right? When you are constantly consuming this, which of course is okay from time to time, but when you are constantly consuming this, especially with and under the common knowledge of 3 meals a day, what do you think this is going to do to your gut? It's going to fucking wreck it. And again, your gut is your second brain, so you can kind of see why that's so important. A prolonged fast, like the 4-day one I just did, and when I did that one, this was my primary reason for doing it. I needed to give my gut a break because, man, I'll tell you, I was drinking so much coffee. It's not even funny. Coffee leads to acidity that can also damage your gut. But, you know, that being a time a couple months ago where I was working a lot, and where I was working at the time being had a lot of construction going on, and it was just a whole lot of crap. I was drinking a lot of coffee. I was eating not as healthy as I should be at the time. And then I went, hold on, bro, what are you doing? Stop. Then I was going on a walk and I thought, you should probably do another multi-day fast and let your gut heal. That was my primary reason for that previous video that I recorded, that 4-day fast, is because I needed to heal my gut. And the food and the coffee will lead to acidity in there, especially given I drink coffee on an empty stomach during my intermittent fasts to boost the mental clarity. I believe this is crucial. This isn't talked about very much at all. I know, I'm gonna get a little personal here, okay? Because I've gone through this. I've been told whenever I do these fasts, man, I've been told so much that I'm crazy and it's unnecessary. And people have even asked at my previous workplace if I'm just like masochistic. Am I just doing this because I'm crazy? Like, no, you fucker, I'm not. This is very beneficial for you. I cannot state that enough, okay? Healing your, I'm not even gonna call it gut, I'm gonna call it your second brain. You can understand why you would wanna take care of a brain, right? You would need it to circumnavigate your life, to focus, to think clearly. Because if you can't think clearly, then how are you supposed to know exactly what you wanna do with your life? How are you supposed to know how to tackle a personal issue in your life? And that's why I'm circling back and getting a little personal here. Fasting's not just fasting. Fasting's not just a Huberman fad that some popular guy online told you to do. If you ask me, it is an absolute necessity in its benefits for your life, given it helps your second brain, okay? But that is the third reason. Heal your gut. All right, that pretty much wraps up my video on why you must fast. You guys have a good one. I'll see you on the next episode. You take care till then. Keep it real. Bye.